Well, hello there, listener. My name is Matthew Renfro, host of The Fro Show, and you're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com. Greetings and welcome to another episode of The Idiot Section, a podcast for intellectuals and persons seeking enlightenment. Yes, you brainiacs, you have come to the right place for all the mental stimulation and transcendental meditation you can handle, all in a convenient and affordable package. How, you may query, can we claim such lofty promises of improving your thinking capacity, let alone assisting with the attainment of nirvana? Well, fellow geniuses, we are on the Internet, the electronic denizen of lies and half-truths, a place where you may pay your money and you take your chances. Frankly, we can claim to do anything we want to, and no one can stop us. Unless, of course, you click on that little red X-y thing in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, phone, tablet, or datapad. However, if you do, you will never know how or if your life will be truly improved by listening to the show, no matter how slim that chance may be. This is the Idiot Section, and I am your host, Senor Esteban, and together with my co-hosts, Kyle and Steve-O, we'll sit around the kitchen table as we do every 2 weeks and catch up with our lives, stories in the news, and just random nonsense that we find humorous and interesting. Now, before we really get started, here is our bi-weekly disclaimer. The discussions, comments, ad-libs, and parodies on this show are the opinions, beliefs, and lame attempts at humor by the participants and do not speak for nor represent the views, opinions, or philosophies of the Four-Eyed Radio Network, the Socially Awkward Studios, or any of the sponsors, consumers, or passers-by associated with the network. Furthermore, any and all celebrity impressions you may hear on the show are for entertainment purposes only and do not signify an endorsement of the show by said celebrity, although one would think they would be too proud to be associated with a high-class production such as this one. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Please don't talk back to us during the show because we can't hear you anyway. Once again, our opening musical intro today is called Dancing Ivories, also known as Soupy's Theme, and was written by Al Mortimer, a pen name for Henry Jerome, and was used as a musical intro to the Soupy Sales Show in the 1960s and again for his show in the 1970s. It was selected especially for the show for its upbeat tempo, melodious piano playing, and mostly because I think it's cool and should be introduced to a new generation of fans. This is our 18th show for the Four-Eyed Radio Network, or the Fern, and we were originally going to broadcast on the first day of March in 2014, which, as you may or may not know, is Self-Injury Awareness Day. I kid you not. But Steve-O injured himself, and we had to postpone the podcast until today. February is now yesterday's news, and just like the dead or dying roses you either gave or received for Valentine's Day, you are ready to toss them away and move on to the month that has the promise of spring in it. As months go, March is oddly named in that it is the only month that is also a command. The third month of the year received its name from the Romans, who spoke Latin just to impress the girls, and they named it after the god Martius, or Mars, the god of war. Prior to the Christians getting a hold of the world and screwing everything up, March was actually the first month of the Roman calendar, as they felt the celebration of spring and new life should begin the Roman year. Not only was Mars the god of war, god of war.
Mars the god of war.
The god of war.
Hey, Mom!
Marty.
Mom! I'm the god of war now!
Martis, go take out the garbage, will you?
No! I'm the god of war!
Hey, not only that, he was also known as the guardian of agriculture, and his month signified the beginning of farming and warfare. Oh, I can hear those Romans now. Time to get up and plant some crops and kill some foreigners. Life is good. While March marks the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere of planet Earth, it marks the beginning of autumn for those folks in the southern half. I guess it is a good thing that Rome wasn't built in Australia, otherwise September would be our start of spring. Some other tidbits you may not know about March.
This is a month.
While February is Black History Month, March is Women's History Month, with March 8th being International Women's Day. National Reading Day is March 2nd. Pi, the symbol, by the way, is March 14th, and St. Patrick's Day is March 17th. Now, this is just a short list of the events that are celebrated in March. So grab your favorite internet scanning device and search for all the fun and exciting things to celebrate in March.
Martius!
You'll be glad you did.
Marty!
So, Kyle, what have you been up to since the last show?
Well, since the last show, work's been going okay. I actually ended up saving the company about $30,000.
Wow, by switching to Geico?
By switching to Geico. No, there was a scam, I guess, going around where this person had contacted the wife of the owner who owns her own company, and I kind of do work for both of them, and it was about basically analytics for their web design, websites to show traffic and things like that. So she had gotten this email from the guy, and I tried looking up his number, and his number was a Washington D.C. number, but it didn't really there was no name associated, there was no company business, things like that. So I told her, I said, well, for now, I do the analytics here, and I gave her a screenshot to show her that her bounce rate was good, that the new traffic, she was getting a lot of new traffic this month, especially the month of February, that everything was fine. So we ignored it, and then sure enough, about a couple of days later, we got another email from, I guess, our security team, whoever handles the emails, and they said actually that's how this one email works is then you open it, you start trying to reply to it, and when you hit reply, it starts sending out this mass thing, and it starts actually going in to look for specifically bank account numbers and stuff. So it turned out it was a fake, and luckily, they said that the last time that they had something like this, it ended up costing them about $30,000. So he's you basically saved us another $30,000 by catching it, and just by doing a little bit of research and stuff. So, and luckily there was no attachments or anything to it, so I don't know exactly how it works with the send, but it definitely was something tailored to her, her business. It had her business's name, so they had done a little bit of research to try and entice her to reply on it and stuff. So it was definitely an interesting start to the week. So other than that, it's been going good. Work's been going good.
All right, great. Steve-O, what about you?
Well, I started a new job as the god of war. No.
Okay, Martius.
I'm Martius. You just added a new character to your show.
Martius, we gotta get back to spring.
Martius, get into the DeLorean now. I started a new job, writing more stand-up. I'm going to have a show sometime in March.
Great.
Up at Stand Up Live. We actually saw a friend of ours who's on another show on our network, Kevin Elliott, who does Appropriate, Inappropriate with Nancy. I was like, well, name drew a blank right there.
That's okay.
Nancy
we could edit
drew a
that blank out. Nancy drew a blank.
Nancy drew a blank. Yeah, Nancy, she actually contacted me, which I'm actually going to be on their show this coming Sunday. I got to go up on Thursday to record a show with them. Then now I'm addicted to Gilmore Girls on DVD because Sammy was like, you should watch Gilmore Girls. And she has every single one on DVD. So I started watching that. And then what I love is I post a picture. I took a picture on my Instagram. And then I started using a lot more hashtags on Instagram because apparently more people follow them. Because that's what I found out when I started doing artwork, doing Marvel stuff or DC stuff, that more and more people start liking your things. And then today I wake up to find the Gilmore Girls are now following me on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Because of this, I'm just all like...
there were a couple outside when I came here today.
Which I don't get with them because I literally hashtagged it with Gilmore Girls DVD, and then the last hashtag is what has gone wrong in my life,
We gotta follow him now.
They're like, we gotta follow this
we
guy.
Gotta save him.
They either gotta save you or I'm on suicide watch. So
yeah, I guess by the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, so a lot of that's been. So I got that been going
They're
on.
out in the tree with the binoculars.
And then also,
there's that boy again.
I finally came up with a new name, or an actual name for the Godzilla podcast I've been wanting to do on the network for a while. Kyle, I hit him up, be like, hey, would you mind doing me a logo? And I like to, it's funny because he sends me the email. He's like, I'm not sure if this is what you're looking for or whatnot. And it really, my two reactions for the two things that he sent me. So the first one was the Godzilla. So he sends me, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like right off the bat, I'm like, this is fantastic. Done. I was like, thank you. Took it, put it on the thing and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, if you have time, do you want to do one for the Brony podcast that I've been trying to get off the ground or whatnot? He's like, yeah, I'll come up with something. He's like, I got to do some research because obviously him and I are both in the same boat where we really don't know anything about this new My Little Pony Friendship is Magic stuff.
Right.
Basically, the whole podcast premise is me sitting down with people who are like adults that are into the show and trying to figure out why. Because
why they're in the show, why they're into it,
why they're into the show. Because literally the show is geared towards little girls, like it's for 6-year-olds and stuff like that. But there are
pedophiles.
Men, there are women,
can you say
adult
pedophile?
women's that are into the show. And the weird part is, it's not like other cartoon shows that Kyle and I have watched, like Adventure Time and things like that, where you're watching it. But there's so much humor in it. There's like adult humor that kids won't get, but it still has that cartoony. So like TJ and his kids can like sit down and watch it, and they could still enjoy the show. But TJ can sit there going like, "Oh, I can't believe they got away with that kind of stuff." And especially like regular show is like one of those shows where it's just like it's basically like it literally these guys lived in the 80s because they reference like so much 80s stuff, but it's still stuff adult humor where you can get kind of like The Simpsons, you know, like where we used to watch it with you, and then after watching older episodes when I got older, going like, "Dad, let us watch this," kind of thing. But literally the My Little Pony one is geared towards 6-year-old girls and has like lessons at the end. And like if anyone tries to turn around and go like, "Well, these are moral lessons you can learn," I'm like, "You're an adult. You should know these by now."
Now here's a lesson: you could lead a human to water, but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
So basically, that's the phenomenon I've been trying to say. But as soon as he sent me those logos, I just literally laughed out loud, like, and I was like, "Okay, this is what I want. This is perfect." So we'll see how those goes. But yeah, and then apparently the Power Ranger podcast that is on the network has just been blowing up. Like,
yeah, he's going to a lot of the cons and stuff. Because they still have a lot of big following, the Power Rangers show that was on.
But the one thing we forgot to mention in the show now is we finally got a couple of the shows, and Idiot Section is included in this. So if you want to listen to the Idiot Section on your mobile devices, your iTunes or anything like that, you can literally just type in the Idiot Section, subscribe to us, and you will get the show when it comes out, brand new, right to your phone, right to your cellular device, right to your MP3 player, anything you got, tablets, phones, all the kind of great stuff. And
it'll even go right to your head without you even thinking about it.
So we got that finally going for us.
Cool.
That's good.
Well, what I've been doing, let's see, a couple of weeks ago, I checked out a 55 and over community in Eloi, Arizona, which is actually just past Casa Grande near the junction of Interstate 8. Now, the name Eloi has always reminded me of the Eloi from the story The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Now, in this story, the future human race devolves into two distinct species. The Eloi are one, and they are a childlike, frail group living a banal life of ease on the surface of the earth.
They're just like 55-year-olds.
Right, just like the community we visited.
This is great!
Now, the Morlocks, on the other hand, are human-like creatures that live underground, tending to machinery and providing food, clothing, and infrastructure for the Eloi.
Nice.
Kind of like the maintenance workers out at the 55 and over.
I was about to say, damn teenagers taking our jobs!
Now, each class actually evolved and degenerated from humans in the book. Now, the novel suggests that the separation of the species may have been the result of a widening split between social classes, a theme that reflects H.G. Wells' socio-political opinions.
You don't understand my rap music, Grandpa.
Say what? Now, the main difference from their earlier ruler-worker state is that while the Morlocks continue to support the world's infrastructure and serve the Eloi have undergone significant physical and mental deterioration. 55 and over? I think so. Now, having solved all problems that required strength, intelligence, or virtue, they have slowly become dissolute and naive. These are the Eloi now, the people that be living in my community. They are described as being smaller than modern humans, having shoulder-length curly hair, chins that ran to a point, large eyes, small ears, and small mouths with bright red thin lips. They are of subhuman intelligence. though apparently intelligent enough to speak, as they have a primitive language.
I like folding pants.
Now, they do not perform much work and do not seem to have empathy for each other. Now, while one initially has the impression that the Eloi people live a life of play and toilless abundance, it is revealed that the Morlocks are attending to the Eloi's needs for the same reason a farmer tends to cattle. The Morlocks use the Eloi for food. This is why there are no old people, and why 55 and over never gets to 75.
Silent cream.
And that's why the Eloi fear the dark. So, this is what I'm thinking while your mom and I stroll around the place, checking out the new homes and wondering where the Morlocks will come out to eat us if we move there.
So basically, H.G. Wells kind of did almost like his own take on that old story, The Grasshopper and the Octopus, where the grasshopper worked all winter, tried to get his stuff, and the octopus partied all the time and did whatever he wanted. Then the grasshopper died, and when winter came, and the octopus ate all his acorns. Oh, and he also got a sports car.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think I remember that one. I got the
It was a good
on
one.
that.
I think Disney made a movie of that.
That was from Futurama. Where Fry was trying to explain what was it, like the squirrel and the grasshopper or something like that?
Yeah.
Or,
I wonder if it was like
the ant and the grasshopper.
I wonder if there
Ants and
was
the
a
grasshopper.
split because it was like they believed in the Book of Morlock, and so they were like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why there was a split.
The Book of Morlock by Joseph P.
I am
Yeah,
Joseph
Joseph
Morlock.
P. Morlock.
Have you heard the Book of Morlock?
Oh God, I can't handle it. Grandpa, you deal with him. Oh, hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here you go. He's eating my foot. I don't
Morlock,
think
is
he
that
should
like
do
that Harry Potter stuff? Why am I going into a cave?
Anyway, I told my friend Brian, because he sent me an email this week, that I would like to give a shout-out to my college buddy Brian, who listens to every show we make while killing off a bottle of California's best Fino.
Oh, nice.
Hey, whatever it takes to get through the show, my friend. Brian favors the celebrity impressions and stories that give him ideas as to how to dispose of bad neighbors. He liked the one about the beaver that killed that guy,
Yeah.
so he wanted to know where he could get one to throw
Where's
over the
the angry
fence.
beaver at?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening, Brian. We appreciate it.
Well, get us to 150 likes and we'll get you your own beaver.
All right, yeah.
Real beaver might not be included.
Batteries may not be included. So what's this YouTube thing?
Oh, this is the Obama dance video that I was talking about. It's by a guy named Matt Renfrew. Introduced me to it on Friday. I've never seen this before, but apparently this guy does a bunch of different videos. His name is Nathan Brandt, and his stuff is really actually kind of cool. He does this one video where he throws an outfit on the wall. And there's another outfit on the wall, and then he jumps into it, and how he edits everything, and then he pops out the other side in the other outfit kind of thing. So he does a lot of almost kind of like the old school you used to do, where it's magic, where it's all you stop the camera and stuff. So it's kind of stuff like that, but how he edits everything he does is really kind of cool. But this one was basically Obama's dance victory, and it's clearly a white guy just in an Obama mask, and he's wearing this suit or everything like that. But he's just dancing around everywhere, and how he cuts it. So it's him doing one dancing, and then it cuts, and then he's in a mall now, and then it cuts again, and then he's in a train station or whatnot. So it's actually quite enjoyable. I thought it was pretty well done.
So do I click on this and then we play it?
Yeah, if you want to click on it and watch a little bit of it.
We'll put it on the
show.
thing and let everybody see it.
That's fine.
I figure it cuts down time too. You just share it, and that way everyone can.
We'll share it. So you people out
Sharing
there in
is
podcast
caring.
land can look, 'cause sharing is good.
Have you guys seen those commercials too lately, where they've been doing the whole sharing, it's the.
Oh,
right
you
thing
see
to
that
do.
little girl? She
She's
picks
so
up all that
freaking
thing up.
crappy. Yeah, she's so creepy looking, where she's like candy.
You know what I love is a little kid sitting there and he's like, "Oh, I feel so
sad.
bad. Nobody likes me."
Loves
And she
me.
goes, I keep thinking, "Oh, here, little boy, here's the candy that I didn't care for,
Yeah.
or that I've already tasted and
Yeah.
I don't
Spit
like
it out
it."
and put it back in the
Yeah,
wrapper.
here.
No, you know what she's doing? She's
What?
like, here, take this candy so the Morlocks can
Yeah,
track you.
But she has the creepiest smile too, and it's
Yeah.
Well, it's like that Welch's girl, the Welch's juice girl for the longest time. Back in the day,
Oh,
she just
yeah,
had those
yeah.
eyes. She,
Yeah,
she looked like
Children
a
of the
creepy,
Corn.
She looked like a creepy version of the girl from Poltergeist.
Yeah,
What was her name? Cara.
Carol Ann.
Caroline.
I think that was their slogan for a while.
Do you know that they're going to reboot that?
They're rebooting everything,
And I'm like,
Yeah, Hollywood's
I'm
out of
sorry.
ideas.
You had Steven Spielberg and Toby Hooper behind the Poltergeist. That was a fantastic team, and that was such a good movie. I'm like, you really want to try to reboot that?
Yeah,
Don't.
yeah.
They already did. It's
Don't.
called that. What was it called? The
Paranormal.
That thing you do.
I don't even compare. No, No,
Yeah.
that is garbage. That
Well, it is, but
That
that's
is
exactly-
that does not even. Me, I rather watch This Is a Haunted House by the Wayne Brothers, which is a spoof of that movie.
But that's what it is, though. Like,
Oh God, that movie was so horrible. It literally, like, people are like, you gotta watch it. You're sitting there going, okay. Oh, the sheets moved. Okay. I literally sat there fast forwarding stuff, and when stuff happens, like, okay, oh, she's standing over. I'm like, big freaking deal. I have people stand over me all the time with knives when I go to bed. You don't see me making a movie about it.
Yeah, really.
Look, Kyle
So
just
the more
likes
you
to
know.
Kyle just likes to rile me up. If it's not Michael Bay, it's something else.
Yeah, he likes to rattle your cage, monkey boy.
You're right on the cage.
Those Duke boys are at it again.
So, does anybody have an idiot story of the week? How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I have this one, and saying we'll post a video. It's going around quite a bit because basically this man in China like goes up to the window. There's already a woman there like doing her banking,
Right.
and this guy just walks up. He's in like a jumper, and he walks up and he just puts like a meat cleaver against the glass, and he's like on the phone with somebody, and he's like basically showing them like, give me all the money or I'm gonna use this cleaver on you.
Right.
Now they're behind like bulletproof glass, and like so the woman who's like doing her checking sees it, and she just kind of like goes, all right, and like walks away like, I'm not gonna mess with this guy. So he's too busy holding the knife to the thing that the woman in the checker who's got a camera on her is going like gesturing like, you believe this guy? Like she's like pointing at him like smiling like, you believe this idiot? And while he's sitting there like holding the meat cleaver up, the guy comes out and he has the baton already, and it was like the security guy was right there, and he's like yelling at him like, what are you doing? And then like the guy looks up at him.
Yeah, this is a
and
great
then the guy
video.
takes him down like in no time. Like, the guy comes up behind him, takes the meat cleaver away from him, and then like he's on the ground, and now he's in jail because of it. But the picture of the woman who's just told,
Oh
her,
yeah,
like,
she's.
you believe
you
this
see,
guy?
Yeah, you
Like-
see her like in the bulletproof glass. She literally
She's,
like
like,
points
looking
behind her
back
like, "Are you serious?"
like,
Like,
looking
Hey,
at
check
the
this
camera.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, look at this.
that's
Look at this clown.
Pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Hey, look, the butcher's here. I guess he's here
So
to
that
make
was
a
that's in
withdrawal.
Japan.
Yeah, it was in
I thought
China
they were-
actually.
I thought they were smarter than us.
Well, that's why it was funny. Is like the guy who used the cleaver wasn't that clever.
Just like the grasshopper.
I guess he
Right on.
has to leave it to Cleaver, huh?
Ah!
You
could also say he wasn't that sharp.
Oh, I guess you could say in jail he's going to be butchered.
Oh, look at that. He went up to the glass. He says, give me your money, chop, chop. Oh, enough of that. Stevo, what's your idiot fun
My
story?
idiot fun story is I just found it on the Huffington Post. Apparently, a teen has sex with a hot pocket,
That
Hot
happens all the time.
pocket.
and not only,
You don't want a girl? You want hot pocket?
yeah, really, yeah. Oh my, I totally forgot about those.
Unless
commercials.
there's a Philly
That'd be-
cheesesteak, because
yeah.
those were recalled.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Apparently,
They
why,
weren't as satisfying
Yeah.
as the pepperoni hot pocket.
This is the thing. He had sex with a ham and cheese hot
Oh,
pocket.
that's wrong.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Basically, why he did it is, I guess it's called the Versa's pocket is like a new term for code name for this. Apparently, this is the
is the new trend.
If we have kids not
Kids
sticking
across the
tampons
nation.
up their butt full of alcohol, or dumping alcohol into their eye, or ingesting hand sanitizer to try to find the new fix. We have people having sex with hot pockets. And what I love is, though, I thought it was effing funny, he said. He also hinted to he was trying to gain Twitter followers. And then apparently, of course, doing this, Twitter, Vine, and also at Hot Pocket on Twitter have banned him and blocked him. So
Now, did you try to warm it up like while he was doing it?
this
or?
is the funny part about this. I hear this story, and all that I can revert to is there is a story by Aziz Zara he talks about in his stand-up act where he's all like, you know, there's some people where you sit there and they tell you stuff and you go, oh my God, you have a kid. This guy told me a story where he had sex with a bowl of macaroni. This guy has a kid, and he's having sex with a bowl of macaroni. And then he told me he went and microwaved it, brought it back to the table, and then went looking for a condom to have sex with a bowl of macaroni. I go, not anywhere during that journey to go get that condom and come back did you ever think, this might be a bad idea? This might not help with anything? Plus, are you planning on eating that macaroni? Is that why you got the condom? So
Yeah.
it's just it disturbs me. It disturbs me that kids, I don't know what to do anymore with kids anymore.
Bye-bye, birdie. Kids,
no more hot
what's
pocket.
the matter with kids
Yeah, you're going to go to
today?
the grocery store and you're going to have your, okay, here's your condoms, here's your lubricant, here's your birth control.
And here's your hot pocket.
Yeah,
Hot
everything's going to be behind a counter now.
Yeah, right.
The guy
Yeah,
comes
you
up,
have
they
to
got to
go-
put it in
yeah.
a paper bag.
Yeah, you have to go
Take
to a
that
drug.
Philly
Yeah,
cheesesteak.
you have to
Oh,
go to
I
the
bet you would
pharmacist.
like that, wouldn't
Yeah,
You have
could
to
I
sign,
have-
you have to
Yeah.
sign like how many you
Yeah,
have.
exactly. How many times? Oh, you only two to a
Sorry, you
pack.
can only get 2 hot pockets.
Come on.
Oh, come on, man. You know I'm good for it. I don't know about that, Davey.
Well, speaking of hot pockets, my idiots of the
Where was-
week
where was
are
his
the
Goliath at that
Arizona
point?
state senators
Oh, yeah.
who not only introduced Senate Bill 1062, but actually voted for it. Thank you, senators, once again for making Arizona the laughingstock of the nation and proving how a small group of homophobic, religious bigot fanatics can ruin Arizona's reputation in 1 week. You must be very proud of yourselves. Luckily, last Thursday, the governor of Arizona, Jan Brewer, vetoed Senate Bill 1062, which some, including all the media in the United States, called the anti-gay discrimination bill. Ms. Brewer cited that the bill was too generic and toxic for business interests in the state as her reasons for vetoing it. She should have said it was just plain wrong and discriminatory, and that's why she vetoed it, because it was. Supposedly, it was created to protect religious freedom in the state, which, from what I remember, is already protected by the Constitution of the United States of America. Or don't you senators in Arizona recognize that document?
It's too many words.
I don't think any senator recognizes that document.
Now, the senators who introduced and supported this bill said it was created to truly protect people with deeply held religious beliefs from having to do business with those who were contrary to their religious beliefs. What? I mean, first of all, I think if you believe in God, God is supposedly a loving being, and he forgives everybody. And the whole thing is these people don't seem to understand that being gay isn't a choice. It's the way you are.
It's a lifestyle.
Well, that was even, we were talking about it a bit.
Check it.
At work that one time, because it even goes as far as, it's not even just the homosexuality. If you were a single mother, and you go into a bank wanting a loan for your small business,
right?
Well, if they are that religious, they could seem you as damaged goods because they don't
You're
believe
like
in
Jezebel.
divorce. Yeah, they don't believe in divorce. They don't believe in birth before marriage. So they could refuse you business just solely based on that, which is ridiculous. But then again, in Arizona, it is a right to hire, right to fire. It's a right to anything. Like, they don't have rights as is. Like, they don't have to serve people because there are no rights for them anyway. So literally, this bill was for no reason.
I think we're just trying to become the most hated state in America.
I think we're doing a good job.
Because we did that. We did the bill for that, and everyone hated us. And then we did the one for the immigrants, and everyone hated us for that. So let's next bill.
And then
we don't serve babies.
And then many years ago, we didn't recognize Martin Luther King Day, so everybody hated us for that too.
Yeah, it was funny too, because then just the last year or so, the senator from Arizona said, I think if Martin Luther King was here this year, was still with us, he would support support gun advocacy. The guy who was shot to death.
Shot by guns, yeah.
So when they said that, there was a story on the Daily Show that the black correspondent that they have on the show was just like, yeah, but didn't it take you like 10 years to recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a national holiday? Yeah. So then with that, he's just like, fuck you, Arizona.
Well, actually, the bill itself is a total of 3 pages, and that includes the cover page.
Yeah, where it just says SB 1062.
Right.
Yeah, and then
the title, which reads in part, an act relating to the free exercise of religion. Now, I have read the bill, and Ms. Brewer is correct in that the bill is too broad in its definition, way too generic, and in my opinion, comes as close to legal discrimination as you can get.
But to be fair, it's a 3-page bill with the cover page, and the other 2 pages, the first page is just
pictures.
your, and then you turn around and goes, gay.
No, with a line through it, slash.
Bad,
gay
with a no.
Frowny face.
Gay equals bad.
This is too broad generic. I can't pass this.
And then you see the Morlock walking out going, I'm trying to get this bill passed, but we're trying to get more old people to eat.
Now, I'm glad that the governor had the good sense, be it to prevent businesses from leaving the state or for the moral reason to veto the bill. What I hope for is that the good people of Arizona will take a critical look at the morons who supported such idiotic legislation and remove them from office the first chance that they get. We don't need Arizona going backwards. If we want to attract, keep, and grow businesses in this state, we need intelligent, forward-thinking representatives who will polish Arizona's star and not blemish it.
Should I run?
You should.
I'm Steve O'Mooney, and I'm approving this movie.
Because you don't have any religion, so you can't use your religious beliefs against anybody.
We will consider your run for candidacy, but did you really have to show up in Morlock face?
Well, you got something against Morlock?
You got something against Morlock? That would be my campaign slogan. Vote for more and get locked in.
You know when they broke into that house? Because they needed more locks.
No, that's going to be the campaign shirt for the idiot section now. Is like vote more to get locked in. Morlock.
Picture the hairy guy.
with a suit. He'll have
Your
a suit.
grandparents are ours. Yeah, Morlock retirement home. Just be like,
Yeah.
We'll
Don't worry about growing
Population,
old.
yum.
You look delicious. Yeah.
We're coming up with good T-shirt designs now. The idiot section's gonna have shirts, guys.
But yeah, I agree though. Yeah,
H.G. Wells is all like, son of a bitch.
well, then what I love
I
too is
should've
how
trademarked
half
that.
of the people who voted for it came back on like the TV and were like, I didn't even know what we were voting for.
So
how
why
the hell are
did
you
you
have
do
a
it? Yeah,
job? Like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
are you even employed to have the job?
Right.
Oh no, we talked about this. Everybody who's employed with the government, this is the great part. Especially like unemployment, post office, stuff like that. These people, they treat everybody like shit now. But you guaranteed anybody who's unemployed right now and would get that job, which would probably you'd get better like business, better taken care of for everything, because they're like, I have a job now and I appreciate this, so I want to help these people. And for some reason, everybody else in the government's just like, that's why I was like, I should just, you know what? I'm not even going to become a comedian. I want to be somebody part of the government, because apparently you don't have to do anything but just come up with, Steve, what'd you come up with today? We hate gays, right? Right? Okay, good. And then just go back to playing Nintendo.
Well, I think that's what.
And
it
then
is,
you just
too.
not vote on it when it comes up. But
What?
Steve, you made this. Okay, first off, it was on a sticky note, and it was in glitter because I couldn't find a mark. You really took this seriously? Well, you're the only one that turned in
Yeah.
anything.
You're the only one who did.
You and that Morlock over there.
are the only ones who did homework.
Well, speaking of which, there's a man from Independence Township, Michigan, who accidentally shot himself to death on Monday while teaching his girlfriend about gun safety.
Like probably going like, see, it's on safety. Bam.
The 36-year-old
Why do I keep
man,
shooting
whose
myself?
name was not released, was showing his girlfriend how safe his 3 handguns are when they aren't loaded. He was attempting to demonstrate the safety of the handguns by holding them to his head and pulling the trigger. Now, the first 2 guns passed the safety
Yay,
test
safe.
with flying colors.
Then he just
However-
throws them out the window. They're safe.
However,
Now you can bury him in the woods.
when he fired the 3rd gun, the man was struck in the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the authorities, the man's girlfriend told him that, well, he had been drinking most of the day before the incident took place.
I'm gonna win her back.
Now you know why there is a department called Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Unfortunately, this
Could be
isn't the
their
first time a gun...
logo is a guy with a cigarette holding a beer bottle going like,
Yeah, with a gun to his head. Yeah, that's our department.
Impress your girlfriends. Gun safety.
No.
Morlock.
Teacher, gun safety.
Yeah. Approved by Morlock.
Well, in
Cyber
January of
Morlock, I can't wait for
2013, an 18-year-old Florida resident performed a similar demonstration, as did a 22-year-old man from Michigan in 2012. Both died in a similar fashion. Now, a 40-year-old Missouri resident was also teaching his girlfriend about gun safety when he shot himself in the head in September 2009. So remember, folks, guns don't kill people. People who get drunk and try to teach gun safety kill people, usually themselves.
You know what the sad part about this story is I'm looking at all these individual men, and I'm like, wait, they had girlfriends? I can't even get a date anymore. Maybe I should just start
Maybe you
taking up
should-
gun
No,
safety courses.
That's what you should do. You should get a gun and just go ahead and put an ad at Craigslist and saying,
Would like to show
girl
guns-
gun safety classes being taught by me. And you'll get them by the truckload.
And my assistant, Mr. Morlock. It's gonna be the new hit TV show for kids. Me and my Morlock.
So, Kyle, what's on your mind these days?
Well, I saw this great video, and we'll post it because the video itself is fun to watch. Because the guy who covered the story like edited it, and he actually like went through and did some animations, and like even like gets into it a little bit where he's like, really, like he like even like questions like what he's reporting. So there's a woman in Cape Coral, Florida. Her name is Robbins. She's basically decided to live off the grid. Like she lives in city limits, but she doesn't have any running water. She doesn't have any electricity. She's living off the grid. She has all natural. Like she collects rainwater. She lives like power solar, all that stuff. So she's off the grid and she loves it. Like she's like the greatest thing ever. Well, unfortunately, is the reason she's living off the grid is not because of choice. It's because she's insane. And basically, she's made a lot of bad choices in life where they've shut off her water, where they've like turned off her power, so she's had to come up with alternative means. So there's a story. They do this whole story about her where she's still using like the toilet water, flushing and stuff, which she's still using the sewers.
Right, the sewers
but
and stuff.
she's not paying for it. And of course, like you're supposed to be paying towards keeping the maintenance up on the sewers, which is why you pay for that in certain areas. And so like that's why she went to court, and she's like talking about how she's not going to stop fighting this. But the whole video is hilarious because she talks about how she's stealing people's Wi-Fi. She's like doing all these things that she thinks are like legal, like I have free Wi-Fi, I have free this, I have free that. It's like no, you don't. You're stealing this.
You're
from
stealing,
other people.
yeah.
So she's just so out there that she doesn't realize that what she's actually doing. She's not really truly like off the grid. She's just robbing people. But I'll post a link on our page because the video is really good. The guy's really clever. It's entertaining to watch because just like you see her and you're kind of like, at first they paint her as like, oh, she's just trying to live off the grid. Like this is not a big deal. Some people are doing that.
Yeah, just like Ted Kaczynski, he lives off the grid.
And then you just
and the Morlocks.
Mm-hmm. They're way off the grid.
They're under the grid.
Under the grid. They are the grid.
Yeah, we made it. We patented it.
But yeah, so I'll post the video because
it's living on my grid.
It's a cute little video because the way they shot it it's a fun story how they did it.
That's cool.
Have you, Steve, any good news?
I was going to post something in there, and then I scrolled down and realized Dad already put it in the other section of the show. So
I guess you need Morlocks.
Well, what's
so
on
I'll
my
just sing the
mind
Morlocks
is,
song.
we have a neighbor who. Okay, remember that whatchamacallit, that really bad storm that came through here like in July.
Oh, you guys had the microbursts that were knocking down all the trees, taking roofs out.
Okay, well, this guy has had a blue tarp on his roof since July.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here it is, almost like 8 months later. So finally, the roofers show up,
right?
And they're doing their
just
thing.
Rickrolled them.
So now I work from home, and I work at the front of the house, so I can see the roofers doing their thing and all that stuff, and that's great. And I have no problem with them having a hammer and all that stuff. Well, these guys go up there and they bring a radio and they stick it on the roof and they crank it. And the
which obviously you can't hear because you're banging on the roof to kind of put.
Well, yeah, not only that, but all I can hear is it pounding off my window. I can't even open my window because now's the time of year where you're able to open your windows and enjoy the fresh air and what have you.
That's what you think.
So you got all this stuff coming in. So I go over there and I said, hey. Is there somebody here who speaks English? And finally, they find the one guy who kind of does. And it's like, could you please, like, shut off your music?
No.
I work here. I can't concentrate because you guys are doing your thing. And they're like, oh, okay. So they shut it off. So I go back upstairs and I'm doing my thing. And all of a sudden,
victory is mine.
Well, victory is mine for about a half hour.
Right.
And then they turn it on again. And just at that time, your mom is leaving to go to the store. So I guess I figured, they're leaving now, so we can go ahead. So I go outside again. And I said, look, your music is bothering me upstairs. I work from home. Knock it off. So they're like, oh, okay. So they finally shut it off, and they left it off. But it was like, these guys have taken literally 2 weeks to get this roof done.
Right.
At one point, there were like 5 of them there. There were 2 on the upper level just staring there, watching while these 3 guys, hand a tile from one to the other and put it on the roof. And I'm going, no wonder you guys are taking like 2 weeks.
Because they get to charge them.
Are you trying to say that these Mexican men are lazy?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that they weren't very well supervised.
The roof is lazy for not getting fixed already. That's what we're saying.
But actually, to be fair, I actually find that very surprising because usually they're pretty good at doing that stuff like lickety-split. So
yeah, obviously they're either who knows who he hired or if there's milking the clock, working hours. But obviously, usually that is the case. You always have like 1 or 2 people working, and the rest are just kind of standing around looking like, oh, we should help, and then they just stand there.
Yeah, I thought there were a bunch of white guys from them.
No.
Or a bunch of guys
like
working on the
Caucasian or more
ADOT or something like that. No, usually actually any Mexican guys that I've ever seen working, like especially in our neighborhood, like either in the yard or like the platforms or stuff like that, or anything to do with the like the patio and stuff. Those guys were hard workers and they were killed. But this team was just absolutely awful.
Did I ever tell you the story? Okay, remember the Ford Taurus?
Yes.
And remember how it had that huge dent in the side and,
yes.
Everything like that? Well, did I ever tell you the story where I came home one day, I was about to walk into the house, and some guy's like, oh, I can fix your dent in your car. And I'm like, it's not really worth it or anything like that. It's like, he's like, yeah, but I could fix it. I'm like, look, it's been there for like a good couple of years now. It's really no worth it. It's got rust in it. It's going to cost way too much and stuff like that. He's like, oh, so you don't care? I'm like, no, I don't care, obviously. He's like, I can put more dents in the car. I'm like, or I can, and then I can call the cops. What do you want to do here? It's all like, did you not get, like, I don't understand when people,
right, yeah.
It's like, what happened to no?
He was just like, he finally like puts his hands up. He's like, look, I'm a Morlock, and I just want to put holes. I have a hammer. I want to hit stuff.
I got a
want-
wife and kid at home.
I want to dent
If,
you
if
up.
I come home and they ask me, "Oh, did you put any dents in any cars today?" and I go, "No,"
Oh, do you want some?
how does that make me look? How does that make me look? I'm trying to provide for this family.
Oh, man.
I don't understand this. This doesn't make
makes
any
no-
sense at all.
He's like,
You know, I actually had somebody come to the door one time and say, "Oh, yeah, we can fix that for you." He says, "I don't want to fix."
Yeah,
yeah, if I wanted to fix it, it'd be fixed.
He says, "Well, how much do you want to charge?" He goes, $500. I says, "Do you realize the car is probably worth about $400?" He goes, $400.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, Jesus.
I just don't get people.
I
And
said,
especially when like you have a
no.
deductible if you
Yeah.
wanted to get it handled. Like
Right.
it's like that's my deductible. I could just
Yeah.
do that and wait till
I
something
do
else
have
happens.
insurance. I could bring it in if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But, you know, there comes a point in time where your car was so old that
Yeah,
it's not worth
I don't get
doing
like
anything
well, not
to.
even that, just everything. It's like what people don't understand the concept of no thank you anymore. Like,
Yeah, like,
you're
oh,
not
I'm not
interested.
interested, no,
I
thank you.
don't care, and they try to push it on you. That's why I tweeted today, and actually I got a
About the DirecTV guy?
yeah, the DirecTV guy, and everyone loves that story because I did have a thing for them. Because before I would say no, thank you, or I'm like I'm not interested, and they just keep pestering you. So finally, I went
finding
with do you want DirecTV? And I go, no, thank you, I already have it. So I was like, perfect, done, don't have to deal with them.
Right.
And then they came up with this follow-up question, which I wasn't prepared for because I thought, no, we've played this little dance, we're done. And then it's like, what package do you have? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have it because I'm lying to you because I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, he says, "I don't know. It's one my wife wanted, and she's happy, so she leaves me alone."
Well, I thought about that, but then I
Yeah.
came up with a new one where it's all like, "Hi, do you want DirecTV?" I go, "No, thank you, I'm an atheist." And I keep on walking, and the funniest part is when you keep on walking, you just do this little glance back, and you just literally see them going, like they don't understand.
Right, they don't.
what?
What?
They have nothing in
What?
their books to concept.
Well, did you you know
counter
the line from Liam Neeson's Taken, where he's on the phone with the guy who kidnaps his daughter, and he says that whole thing like,
Yeah.
"I will find you, I will kill you." Well, I guess that happened to him because he was in a store with his kids,
Right.
And somebody came up and was like, "Oh, do you want DirecTV?" And he just like turned around really quickly, and he's like, "I have a very set of skills," and he like did the whole line like dead face, and you could see the guy was kind of like, "Okay," like didn't know. I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
Everybody else who was around was like, "Oh."
Well, many years ago, they used to
long,
have this group
long
called
time ago.
Hare Krishnas. They still have them, but there was a time where they were allowed to hang out in airports.
Yes.
And
Oh,
they
right.
they could come up to travelers and they could give you a flower and say, "Oh, would you like to donate to our cause?" and all this other stuff. And it was like, you know, and people were getting kind of fed up. And
Yeah, 'cause,
eventually the airlines got rid of anybody soliciting anybody and stuff like that. Well, your mom and I get married and we fly to I think it was Orlando.
Aruba,
So we're in the
Bahamas.
airport, and all we wanted to do is we had an awful flight. I got all these bags of stuff on me, and walking down the
trying to get through, yeah.
walking through the thing, and all of a sudden this cute little Hare Krishna girl comes up with a flower. She says, "Oh, hi, here's a flower. Would you like to donate?" And with a dead and your mom freaked out because she never saw me be like this. I just looked at the girl and said, "Shut the fuck up and get the hell away from me." And with that, the girl literally shut down. I mean, we just walked around her and kept going.
And she could just
And,
stop.
and,
like,
and she just stopped. She didn't move. I mean, we must have walked about a good 500 feet. And Joanne says, "Stephen, look, turn around and look." And she was just standing there like no one had ever been
Yeah.
that mean to her before, I guess.
"My life is full of flowers.
Yeah.
Go die."
Yeah, right. 4 years later, Dad saw that same girl at the.
She was
at the
still
airport.
there.
And you know what? She
the
was one of the girls who tried to kill President Reagan.
Aha, so
Oh,
there
is
you go.
that it? Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
That wouldn't surprise me. I like how he's just Morlock. Like he's not like John the Morlock or
No, it's
Morlock.
Peter.
Morlock.
you know, it's just it's Morlock.
The new singing sensation, Morlock.
Oh, did you guys hear about? Actually, I should have talked about that. I had no idea that John Henson passed away.
Yeah, like 4 weeks ago.
I know,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
just
back
found but what I loved is like,
would it kill
no
you to
one
watch
talked
the
about it.
news once in a while? It was even on Twitter.
No one talked about it at all.
You must get more Twitter feeds than I get. 'Cause
I know,
only
but I
see the
guess I'm not
people that
tapped
you
into
see.
Muppet Twitter feed.
Rainbow Connection.
Don't you follow Kermit the Frog? He's got his own Twitter page.
Hi ho, Kermit. No, he blocked me.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he? Oh,
Oh,
that's because of that thing with Miss Piggy, wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to talk about that.
Hot Pocket.
Hot Porkit.
Hashtag. I'll show that son of a bitch.
ham and cheese.
Yeah,
ham and cheese.
I got your ham and cheese. Kermit's sitting at the bar with the Hare Krishna, and the dad yelled at him
Yeah.
like, "Man, I used to be on top." And the Morlock's just like, "Me too. What the hell are you doing here?" It's time for Senior Esteban's Muy Muy Bueno movie reviews, brought to you by Morlock.
Thank you, Steve-O. Hey, today's movie review is brought to you today by your local public library, which is where I got the first one from. The first movie I saw this week was 42, the number.
Now, this isn't that 43 movie, right?
No, it's 40. It's the one right before it.
This is. I think I remember seeing this.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
This is with the African-American baseball player.
Yeah.
No, it's about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's about Jackie Robinson, number 42.
There
That's
he
right.
goes, Mr.
This is the story of the first African-American baseball player to play in the Major League Baseball. The movie was very good, and the thing that really got to me is when you see that the insults, name-calling, and taunts that this poor guy had to go through, not only from the stands, but many times from other players and even those on his own team, I really found a new respect for this guy. Han Solo wanted to make a statement with this guy by bringing him up from the Negro League.
Right. He's saying this guy's good. Let's bring him in the Major League.
And he wanted to get him in and goes, hey, this guy's good. He's going to help the team. He's a good player. And this and that. And the whole thing. And this was like in the 40s and stuff. That I really liked the movie and recommend it to anyone to see it, just to see how backward we were in the late 40s. Besides that, the hot chick from Sleepy Hollow was in it. They brought him up to the minor leagues, which was the Montreal team, and he played there, and he did so well that they thought, hey, let's bring him up to the majors and make a big thing.
I know a little bit about
and you know
baseball.
what? The problem is, you think that this guy,
bases are there?
the guy who played,
Fuck you.
the guy who Harrison Ford played, I forget what the guy's name was in the thing.
Well, you
But
have it here
thought
as
he did
Indiana
it for
Jones.
altruistic means, but he didn't. He said, we're missing the whole Negro market. And that's the only reason why he did this.
Yeah, like you want people
was
to come
get
the
these
stands
people
and
to
stuff,
come in and fill the
empty
stands
seats
and stuff.
Yeah.
They said the same thing with hockey with Canada. They were like, "You're missing the whole American audience." They're like, "We don't care, eh? They suck. Look at what we did in the Olympics, eh? Sorry about that."
That's one thing they know how to do is hockey. And maple syrup.
I want to move to Canada. Canada's awesome. We should do a live show in Canada sometime once we get the network up and running, like full.
You can go up there and see the Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah.
They're from Canada.
Everyone's from Canada.
It's only been 1 week.
Neil Young's from Canada.
Yeah, it's only been 1 week.
Joni Mitchell's from Canada.
Yeah, even Rush.
Nathan Fillion. He's Canadian.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
A lot of people.
Captain Kirk is from Canada.
Yeah.
I'm from Canada. Hey.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Ginger ale.
I got maple syrup from Canada.
I got maple syrup from
I have bacon from Canada.
the Klingons. Who, in fact, are
I have
descendants
pennies
of
from Canada.
Canadian.
Canadian? I have ginger ale from
Canadian.
Canada. It's really dry, too.
You horrible human being, get to your next movie.
So what other movies did you see?
Oh, my.
Well, the other movie I saw that Steve-O lent me was Looper.
Looper.
Starring
Here's your Looper.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bruce Willis, Emily Blunt, and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Now, Steve-O loaned the movie to us and said it wasn't what he expected.
With the stipulation of
and I had to give it back.
No, with me insisting that I would get the copy back of Morlock.
It was still a good movie, although a little bit weird. But then again, I expect the future to be weird anyway. The only problem I had with it was the makeup they put on Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They screwed up his face to try to make him look like a young Bruce Willis, and it was more distracting than it was convincing.
Which is funny because I didn't notice it at all. So apparently I have no idea how...
What he looks like.
I have no idea how he looks like.
He'll walk into him and, oh, get out of my way, buddy.
Yeah.
You look like a Morlock. Get out of my face.
No, if you look like a Morlock, I'd be like, we are making a TV pilot right now. No, I have another thing to do. Shut up, Morlock! You have no rights in this country.
Now, in true idiot format, earlier in the day, I attempted to restructure how the sound from the stereo should be distributed through the surround sound speakers, and it was a huge mistake. In order to hear what people were saying in the movie, we had to increase the volume, but then a gunfight would erupt that scared the shit out of us and the dog. I have since reset the stereo, and I have vowed to never touch it again. Now, the other thing I saw this week was, anybody see The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
I have not had a chance to watch them yet, but everyone said, like with my friend's review, a lot of people said first show was a little like rocky for him.
Yeah, it was.
And then a lot of people were giving him shit, but then it's like, again, these are all the people who were into Jay Leno and all this kind of stuff. It's all like, it's, So, what was your take on the Jimmy Fallon?
Well, I know his second week ended last week, and to me it looks like a lot like his former late night show, which is now hosted by Seth Meyers. Now, I was never a big Tonight Show fan, even before Jay, Conan, Jay, or Johnny. But I do like Jimmy.
Really great stuff.
Yeah, I do like that Jimmy has kept his late-night format for the new show, because that is what I liked about his old show to begin with. But to be honest, for all the media hype and BS that went on, it is still basically just a late-night talk entertainment show that I'm only going to record when a decent guest is on. I was not a big fan of most of his musical guests, and after a while, some of the same skits get old. So, it's going to be
So
one
are you
of those
still
things.
sticking with Letterman then?
No, I don't even watch him anymore.
Who's taking over for him?
Well, no, Letterman's going to die in his chair, and people are still going to come out and talk to him.
Top 10 reason why I won't give this up.
Top 10 reasons why I'm
Number
still
10.
dead.
Rigor mortis.
I'm stuck to the chair.
Number 10.
Stuck to the chair.
Now, I did watch Late Night with Seth Meyers' first show, and to be honest, after the first one, he didn't really seem comfortable delivering the monologue. Even the second night, he still was he's more of a
Hey, guys,
behind-the-desk type of guy.
Yeah.
I'm the next Conan.
So what you're saying is I need to take over.
Well, the show was okay, but I think that Seth has got his work cut out for him. If the show lasts 6 months, I'll be surprised.
I'll take over. I can do a late night show. I think it'd be great. New
So-
format, everything.
Now, I understand that there were 2 members of this audience that saw
No
RoboCop.
audience.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We saw. Our movie review was we went and saw RoboCop. That's Ghostbusters.
Oh, no wonder I didn't like the movie. Like, where's the ghosts?
What'd you think, Steve?
First off, I love the first RoboCop. Even though it's dated now and everything like that, but it's a good classic '80s ones. I mean, it's rated R. They've got so many things in that where it's like the robot malfunctions in the very beginning, like in the boardroom, kills the one guy, and the one guy's all like, "John, you're fired." It's just like no one cared. Like this guy just got. And then even like how RoboCop dies in that original one, he gets like shredded like Swiss cheese. All this kind of stuff. So this one was a PG-13. It starts off, kind of basic. There's corruption in the crime thing. You see, like, all these robots pretty much are kind of like, they're using it for the military right now, and they're trying to figure out, why can't we get this in the U.S.? Everyone else is safe but us, like this whole kind of thing. I did have to say, I didn't like the opening sequence, like where they're, like, basically when they track down those guys at that, that restaurant and they're having the gunfight. Fine with that, but what's the deal with the shaky cameras? Like, we really need to just put everything on a tripod. Like, that made me nauseating. Like, I had to just
because they were trying to do it more like first-person view.
like a realistic thing, but it's like every little thing was just like. I'm like, okay, I can't watch this.
But it was good. It had like Gary Oldman in it.
Yeah.
It had Michael Keaton in it, who played the big boss guy. He was pretty good.
That was Keaton. I like
really good.
He was good, actually.
He did good because like you kind of saw where he was definitely more business in it, but there were parts where he played it up where he was like, I'm just trying to be like a good guy too, like for the betterment. But you could tell like he still always was thinking like business. Yeah. One thing I thought of is in the opening when the things go to like with the whole like the camera crew. Why was the camera crew there?
Yeah,
because he hired them to blow themselves up.
Yes,
like if you think about it, like oh my god, like, that's how crazy this guy was
to
like get the publicity out there.
Just to try to get publicity. Samuel Jackson's in it. Samuel Jackson did a phenomenal job in it. He was great in it. Like I loved it because he did.
He's like the Bill O'Reilly on the. That's like what his character is. He's like a Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, like a newscaster.
Now I'm trying to remember the guy who played the senator. He looked very familiar. He's been in a lot of things.
Yeah, he's one of those like character actors that I think we've seen.
I'm trying to remember what else I've seen him in, but he was really good in that too. The guy who played RoboCop. What I liked about it too, they gave him like the human aspect in the beginning, and then there's a part where they kind of shut him down, and then he literally just went into that mode, like kind of like in the first one where he's just all like. Thing. And the really cool part. Oh, they also had Jay. I forget his name, but he was in. This Is the End. He played Seth Rogen's friend.
Oh, Jay Buchanan or something.
Yeah, Jay Buchanan's in it, which I had no idea, and he's got so many good lines on that too. Like, you're watching RoboCop do stuff, and he's all like, he's solving like his own murder basically at this point. He's like, he's solving his own murder. He's like. That's genius. Why didn't I think of that? Like he's just like, and that was great because at the end, like he points the gun at them. He's like, "I'm just in marketing," and he goes like, so he had some really good lines. But it was pretty well done. I'm not sure how actually the big thing that bothered me because I'm OCD. The big thing that bothered me is like they showed you what's left of his body basically. And not really much is left of his body when they rebuild it. But the only thing that really was left of his body was his hand. But it kept bothering me throughout the entire movie because I'd rather just glove it up. It's like, you're going to have the other one glove, just glove it up, because I'm so OCD.
And I
need
thought that
everything
too,
to be,
yeah. I thought that too, but I think the reason was because what we saw in the opening credits was he was a good sharpshooter,
Yeah.
and that was like his hand, like that was his like hand-eye coordination was really good, so that's why they kept his one hand. That part was the one that did give me nightmares too, because like I literally kept thinking about that, like my goodness, like there was literally like they scrapped like as much as they could,
Yeah,
and like just rebuilt them.
Like what's really
he
left
had
of
the
it.
he had the traditional walk down, he kind of like did that weird pivot
Right.
in the old movie, like he had it down.
Yeah, that was
pat.
really cool too.
That was pretty good. Gary Oldman's character was really good in it. They actually brought more of a wife and son in it, as opposed to like in the other film, it was more like they moved on, like they thought he died and that was it. And in this one, it was more like almost her fault that he ended up the way he did, because she had to sign off all these papers to kind of save him, and then not knowing that this is what they were going to do was like kind of like making more of the machine.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I was definitely disappointed that it was PG-13 because I felt that they could do more with it. But what they did do with it, I was actually really impressed with it.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. And then the guy who played Rorschach,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
he was like a
he was
military
like the
guy,
military
which I'm
guy.
wondering if
Yeah.
he's going to take over like he was kind of like the bad guy of the Red from that 70s show who's in the first one. And like I guess if they go with if they do get a second movie, I'm guessing they probably take his brain and put it in one of those huge mechs like they kind of did with the
If they wanted
that
to,
one.
yeah.
And
Because
that
he was
one.
good. He was more like a tactician and stuff. And he called the guy Tin Man. Like that was what he called Robocop. And that was great because they do the first exercise. And he's like, you guys don't mind if I play some music while we're doing this, right? And they're like, no. So he plays it, and it's like the If I Only Had a Brain.
No,
Yeah,
it
he
finally had a heart.
Only had a heart.
Oh, yeah, that's
Tin
the
Man, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, no, overall it was a pretty good. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like I still like the first one. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I would say it's
Is it a
probably,
library one?
I would say,
Oh, yeah, definitely
I would
library.
say if it's on Netflix, check it out, or if you can get it from the library.
It's a good film. Like it was a good watch.
It's got some action. It's got a good watch to it, but nothing like
Good humor and
nothing.
stuff.
But then again, it's also kind of like this is a movie that if it was going to be huge, they would have released it in the summer. Usually, most of these huge blockbusters, if they don't know if they're going to do well, they release them earlier in the year. That's how usually the movie goers
Yeah.
go. But
Gotcha.
other than that,
was good.
I think the next movie I want to see still is the Lego movie. So
That is
everyone's
a
been
good
talking
movie.
about. It's already been signed
I
up.
hear
for,
people talking about
Everyone's
that
been talking about how
constantly,
it's already got a sequel going in the works.
Oh, you know, it was funny. One of the good things I saw on Jimmy Fallon, he had a spoof about that. He says, "Oh, and they're already talking about it, the Lego Movie sequel, and we have the first scene from it, and they show just a red block sitting there." I thought that was hysterical.
But yeah, so
Yeah, it is
That's
really
really
good. There's a lot of not only the voice acting in it, but like the storyline is really good. But what's really cool about that movie is like when they say like everything's Legos, like literally everything is like the explosions
Yeah.
are Legos that are built up. They filmed it stop motion, so they actually built the explosion up. And like smoke and everything has like little Lego pieces.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a part where he's like bathing, and like these little like soap bubbles are coming up, and they're like little Lego pieces. Like it was really good. Like the way they did
Yeah,
it. And,
yeah.
Like the best part, there's a scene where the ocean is, and they have the waves like with the cascading like white and the blue, and it's literally like pieces of Lego that are
Legos
built
that are
up
coming up,
and
yeah.
come down. It's very impressive the way.
Yeah,
they did
and
it.
since with the success now of the Legos movie, apparently a lot of people's licenses, they kind of gave those up, like not like for everybody, but they were like, Legos, if you want to make Legos of these now, go right ahead now, because they passed one, which I don't know when it's coming out, but they did one earlier where it's actually like the DeLorean for Back to the Future and Doc Brown and all that kind of stuff. But then they did one. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I'm definitely buying this. That it's the Ecto 1 and the Ghostbusters for that. But I guess like people can put their votes in. So I know a lot of people are
Yeah.
probably doing the Doctor Who one.
There's a
next,
Doctor Who
but,
one now.
But
There's
now
all kinds of
since
ones.
people were like, wow, this movie, and thinking about, well, if we give them the licensing, we can put these in. We can get our stuff in the movie then. So I think more people are now like, yeah, go ahead, make Legos of it. Go make Legos of it, which is great because it's like it's such a like those Lego video games, like such a good like. I wish I created Legos. Instead, I created Lincoln Logs.
Oh,
You know the problem with Lincoln Logs?
what?
They keep getting shot in the back of the head.
Oh,
Oh, what
I
was
don't
that
get
too
it.
soon?
I don't get it.
Is that too soon, huh?
I don't get it. Oh wait, Murloc. I get it.
hey, wait a second. For you zombie
Hashtag
lovers,
we're
we have now seen 3 weeks of AMC's The Walking Dead. To help us understand what we have seen and to help us grasp the magnitude of the programs, we will bring you a little section we like to call Christopher Walken Dead. Mr. Walken, your thoughts on the past shows, please.
Hello. Thank you for having me back in the studio. So, season premiere happened. Rick and Carl escaped together, and they set up home in a lovely 2-story in suburb. It's so weird, you know. Did you see that house? It was a mess.
It was a nice house.
I mean, no, it wasn't. The door was busted open. He had to put new cable around the door to get in and out. It was so crazy. So Carl runs around looking for food, killing zombies and eating chocolate pudding on roofs. Sounds like a typical Sunday for me. He yells at his dad, who is passed out on the couch, so it doesn't count, but he does it anyway. I remembered that. He's just like, Dad, I hate you. Yeah, I could do it on my own. I'm awesome. But notice, when Rick woke up, he shit his pants because he thought it was a zombie. I shit my pants, too, because I ate too much of that chocolate pudding. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, meanwhile, somewhere in an enchanted forest, Monique continues to wield her katana. It's a big sword for those of you who don't know.
You mean Michonne?
Yeah, Michonne. What did I say?
Monique.
Macarona. Monique, Michonne. They all look like Morlocks to me. And she's hacking zombies. She traps 2 zombies after removing arms and the lower jaws. Recreates her zombie magical posse that she had before, tying the 2 zombies together and blending in with other zombies. After hanging out with the zombie pack for a day, Michonne gets sick of looking at them, and she hearing them annoying groans, and she decides, you know what? It's time to go medieval on the asses. So she tracks them all down to pieces. She even gets rid of her posse, so she goes back to being a lone Michonne. Oh! She has a flashback of a brother and a husband.
You mean not unique Monique?
Monique, Machine, Machini. Like, you know what? I'm just going to call it Eminem. Here we go. Anyway, for Machete Michonne, okay? Let's get it down. She has a flashback with a husband and a son, and then she finds out that that they're dead. You find that out. She had a son. It was weird. That was a weird scene, too, because she's literally, like, in her kitchen cooking a meal, and you're like, oh, this is a flashback. But then she's, like, chopping things up with her katana, and I'm like, what? And then she slides into that knife holder, and I was all like, now, I need to get me one of those, because I got a lot of katanas that could just fit in that. Perfect. They're just lying around. Children keep playing with them. So it's ridiculous. Anyways, she finds distress and leads her to some following footprints of Carl and Rick until she finds them in their new lovely home. She knows she will move in with them because they might become a couple. I don't know. Do you think they're going to become a couple? I think Rick and Michonne might become a couple. I don't know if...
a couple of what?
A couple of dickheads. Ow!
Ow!
In the second season, we see Beth teamed up with Daryl. Now, this is kind of weird. We saw Daryl as his badass, and then we got Beth, who's this little girl, and it's like this weird, like, traveling companionship. Kind of reminds me of the Walking Dead video game that they did, where a man was carrying around for a little girl, except in this one, it's Daryl, and the girl's a little older and seems that she could handle herself and not hold him back. As they run from zombies, killing a few for fun. Why not? They're there. Why not? Get your practice in. It's like, hi, Mr. Zombie, stabbity stab stab, and then you have a story. The next person you see will be like, I killed this zombie with a rock. And he's like, well, I had a gun. And you're like, oh, I can't afford bullets in this apocalypse. You must be a rich man. Sorry, I get off topic a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Good luck with that one. We almost learned that Therese gets stuck with the 2 bratty kids, Lizzie and Mika, one of whom is a mental case. Yes, she is. It's funny watching this with your parents in the room because the one goes, what's with her? Why is she all so weird? It's like, did you watch last season? Did you notice anything? She's a little off. She was feeding rats to a zombie. I'm sorry, but that's like Jeffrey Dahmer right there. So he gets stuck with the 2 bratty kids, as well as a crying baby, Judith. So we all get to relax. The baby's safe. Everyone's happy. Except I hate to break it to you, the kid won't shut the hell up. And nothing wrong with a crying baby during a zombie apocalypse. You know why? Zombies don't know how to change diapers. They're horrible at it. You can't be like, hey, zombie, can you watch my kid for a bit? I'm going to go find some food. No, they just try to eat that baby. Selfish bastards. So, Judith, whose only job is to let the zombies know where the food is, Tyrese leaves the girls to attend to other zombie matters, but Judith starts screaming, dinner time! It was weird. She had a dinner bell and everything. I'm like, for a kid who can't walk, she knows how to use that bell. And Lizzie is about to suffocate her. Oh, and Carol comes back. Carl came back, too. He was in the other episode.
Yeah, he was in the other episode. Carl came back from eating pudding.
Eating pudding. He's all like, You say the pudding and the pops. Horrible. Down by Babbling Brook, Sasha is mending drunk Bob. Is that his name, Bob?
I think so.
Whatever. He's the one guy that I want to be killed already, but he won't because he tried to get everyone in danger. But he's like, I'm going to drink. I have a problem. Yeah, we have a problem too. It's you pushing the zombies. I'm just saying. Who probably cuts himself on a broken scotch bottle. While Maggie pines away for Glenn. If you don't know who Glenn is, Glenn's the rock star of the Asian community in that show. It seems that everyone else has recovered from the jailhouse rock virus by Glenn, who keeps passing out every
time.
Yeah, every time.
All the time. He gets up, he goes into the bathroom, he comes back, he's got to take a sleep.
Well, you know what they say.
I didn't even know we got to Glenn yet.
You know what the zombies say.
I should have wrote this myself. I would have put it in better terms and put it down the format that I was used to. Anyways, what a puss.
If you eat a Glenn, you're hungry in like an hour.
I know, that's why zombies don't want to eat him. Maggie goes in search to find a magic bus, but it's filled with sightseeing zombies who think they have stopped at the Stucky truck stop. And they are hungry for their famous pecan lawn rolls. Who hasn't had those? They're good. But humans will not do. Little do the zombies know that they will not make their final destination due to the fact that they killed the driver, and none of the zombies know how to drive. They should have just listened to the bus driver and sat on the bus going, the zombies on the bus go munchy munch, munchy munch, munchy munch.
The zombies on the bus
driver,
go
now we're
munchy
stuck
munch.
all in this town. Now the third show, last Sunday, Carl and Machete, that's right, I changed the name.
Machete.
Michonne begin to bond as they share secrets about their lives. It's weird. It's crazy. Hopes and dreams while they look for food. That's got to be weird. What did you want to do when you grew up? Was it killing zombies? I'll tell you that much. Rather just have another bucket of pudding. That'd be a good Sunday for me. Looking for food, water, and supplies. Meanwhile, Rick is still trying to get better and is resting until some heavy-armed ruffians invade his home and force him to hide under a bed. Now, I don't know about you, but when he was under the bed, I just kept thinking about that R. Kelly song, Stuck in the Closet, but it was just like, I'm under the bed, watching these pockets fly, under the bed. I know Esteban over there is like, what are you talking about?
Huh?
Anyways, he's forced to hide under a bed, and a man climbs out. And a man is killed. He kills a man before he climbs out the bathroom window. He was actually doing pretty good. I actually like that scene. He actually kept quiet, snuck out pretty well, and then he literally jumps into the bathroom, turns around, there's a guy taking a shit, and he's just all like, well, looks like you just made your last number 2.
Should have had more fiber.
Yeah, it should have had more fiber. It would have been in and out, not dead on the ground. Anyways, we finally learn that Glenn is still in the prison. It was crazy because when he wakes up, he's on the ground. You see all these zombie hands going after him. I was all like, put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Zombies. He's sleeping like a pussy. Then he is surrounded by another bunch of zombies who love him so much they could eat him. Ha, ha, ha. No. They won't eat him because it's Glenn. Glenn jumps over the zombies. He finds Tara. Now, if no one remembers Tara, because I know someone we were watching, we was like, who's that person? We were all like, it's Tara, you know? Tara.
She's terrible.
She's terrible.
Shooting.
She was part of the Clickety Clan of the governor. She was part of the ROM, and she got left behind. So Glenn, being the noble man that he is, befriends her and takes her out there, helps her get out of the prison. But he has a catch because he's like, look, I don't like you. Herschel's dead because of you, but I need you. While they're run away from zombies, they meet 3 new people who have a truck. One is a scientist with a mullet. He's rocking and rolling, which no scientist I've ever seen has a mullet, except for this mullet, man. But then again, you know what? Who's going to judge him in a zombie apocalypse? Are you really going to be like, oh, your shoes don't match? It's more like, oh, you have all your limbs. Congratulations. You win a prize. I think the guy is a quack, or, oh, he also can shoot a gun. We're shit. Literally, he just shoots at the gas tank. The other guy is a military dude, and there is a hot chick who shows some skill in the military. Grab. Hurrah. No, I wouldn't say that. I'd just say she's got nice boobies. The boobadoobs. bibbidi boppity boobs, you know? Wow.
Good night.
Did you just have a zombie attack of your own?
I did.
After some disagreement with their new friends, Glenn starts walking back to the bus, convinced that Maggie is there. The new friends, not having a clue or a backbone, decides to follow him. Terra 2. Is that the new book now? Glenn and his new unbackborn friends, and Terra 2 is coming to new. Coming to the new.
I think that was the name of that season.
It's going to come after the net. It's going to be Walking Dead, Talking Dead, and then this new and Terra 2.
Terra 2.
Lately, we find others in a place called Terramis, where everyone who wants to survive should go. I think they would have better luck if they called it the hippie place, the hippiest place on Earth. More people would want to go there, except for me. I would just say, hey, Carl, we got pudding. Boom. Sold. Everyone's there. And then if you show up, there's no pudding, then that's when the zombie apocalypse happens. Because I hate to break it to you. Ever show up to a party who promises pudding and there's no pudding? I bought a guy. I bit an ear off. Heck, fucking, what's his face did it too? Mike Tyson. He bit another guy's ear off. You know why?
No pudding.
No pudding. So as Rick, Carl, and Michonne head down the tracks, it kind of reminded me like Stand By Me. When the night, has come. And the zombies are on the walk. Just go down to the hippiest place on earth. The pudding. As we say goodbye to our fearless friends, thank you for listening. Hopefully, I'll write this myself.
Well, once again, we have managed to waste the best part of a perfectly good Tuesday night for ourselves and possibly our listeners. If you are smart and listening to this show is making me think otherwise, you would do well to follow my pal Brian's lead and drink while you listen to us. If you think that would make you an alcoholic, think of this show as a gourmet meal, one that begs to be accompanied by a fine wine or a case of cheap beer, your choice.
Or just drink when you hear pudding.
Pudding. Remember to celebrate wholeheartedly each and every event the month of March has to offer, whether it is UN French Language Day or International Happiness Day, both on March 20th, White Day, as celebrated in Asia, or Save a Spider Day on March 14th, World Water Day on March 22nd, World Kidney Day on March 13th, Summer Day in Albania on March 14th. No, and I don't get that one either. Or one of the many other fun-filled events in March. Check them out and party on. As we ask each and every show, please purchase your Amazon.com goods by going through the Socially Awkward Studios website and clicking on the link to Amazon.com. Someone in charge of this stupid network was able to finagle Amazon into sponsoring the network, and in doing so, get a portion of everything you buy from them through our site. It adds nothing to the cost of the product to you, but did pay for the coasters we are using today, which, incidentally, look a lot like napkins from a discount store. Again, thank you for your support. If you would like to send us a tweet, look for the @TheIdiot section and tweet away. Also, please like us on Facebook at The Idiot Section. Someone keeps account of our likes, and after a year of doing the show, we will let you know when the like count gets to 10. Remember, one day you might not only like us, but love us. Hey, it could happen. And someday, www.theidiotsection.com will no longer be under construction, so you will be able to see some of the videos and JPEGs that we refer to on the show. We will also use the site to post links to our other shows, which are now just taking up space on a USB drive in my sock drawer. Thanks for listening, and talk at you in 2 weeks.
You see, when the night has come, and the pudding has gone, when the zombies will stumble in the sea. Pudding.
This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.
This has been another great presentation by the 4i Radio Network. You can find more information at 4iRadio.com.